Okay, so for my 3D design project, it was to show that we knew how to make shape faces and chairs. So I started off by going to the little rectangle box above, clicking it, and drawing a rectangle. After that, I took the push and pull tool and I slowly dragged the image up to make it a 3D figure. I then took a smaller rectangle in the middle of the square already, and I just also pulled that through or pushed it through, and I decided I wanted it to be pulled through. I then took the rotation tool and I rotated my object all the way around to look at the other side. I then took another rectangle, took it from the midpoint to the end of another point, and then I pushed through. I continue to do this with other rectangles, as you can see. This one I decided to pull through. After that, I decided to rotate the image so you can see all sides. The next thing I did was click another rectangle and drew it on this side, just because I felt as though this side needed some dimension as well. Oops. I was having a little hard time trying to fix this, so I had to go up to the rotation tool to look at it, and it ended up looking like this. I then took the rotation tool again to rotate my image. Then I clicked the down arrow and I clicked the circle. I made the circle big enough so as the radius would be shown. However, it was too big and it wasn't on the shape anymore, so I clicked undo and I drew it again, as you can see. And I continued to draw circles all around on the rectangles. It looks like this. But this last one, I also drew too far up, so I had to erase that image and I just drew another circle. I then took the push and pull tool, pulled out some circles, pushed through some circles, and because I did split this image in half, I was having a little bit of trouble with this side, so I had to I tried to fix it, but however, I had to at the end go and undo all of it. Since I did split it up into two different rectangles, it wasn't pushing through all the way. So after I undo everything, I clearly just pulled it out and continue to keep pulling out cylinders. And for this last one, I pushed it through. So then I took the rotation tool so that you can see that when I pushed it through, you can see clearly through the figure. Then I took the magnifying glass to magnify closer and far away so you can see the object all together. And this is what it looked like. So then I clicked the arrow button and I deleted the whole image. The next thing I started to create was a chair. I started off with a rectangle. So I clicked the down arrow, changed it back to the rectangle, started in the middle of the axis, and made a rectangle. Then I took the push and pull tool, pulled up the object. Then I took the actually, this isn't the chair part. This is actually me just drawing more figures to show the different dimensions that I made. So I ended up drawing a line through the middle of the midpoint of the figure. I then took the push and pull to show that you can separate a figure and make stairs, for example. Then I took the rotation tool to rotate my object. Then I took this form of use and I used it to pull up the line to use a symmetric shape. So you can use that to make houses or anything that you need to have a pointed edge. So it ended up being this. And to my eye, it looked like a little mini like sofa. But then I just continued to add random shapes into the figure just to show you the push and pull methods. So I clearly tried to push and pull this circle through, but however, I was having difficulties just because I did draw a line through the midpoint and it was impossible for me to fully push the circle out. So I ended up just pulling it out. Then I used the rotation tool, rotated my figure again, and then I drew another circle. And for this one, I decided to actually push all the way through, and it got a little bit stuck, but I think I finally got it on this attempt. I then rotated my figure, but however, you could still see that it was there, so I continued to push some more. And at this point, it looks like it's gone, so I wanted to use the rotation tool to see if it was gone, but it wasn't. So then I decided to continue to push it out, and we're almost there. Let's see if I get it. There we go. So I think I pushed that out completely just to check. I wanted to rotate my object. So I rotated it, but however, it's still there. At this point, I decided to try the opposite direction to see if that would work more. But however, it did not work, and that's due to me drawing the midpoint and then adding the stair shapes to everything. So that's why that did not work out how I planned it. I then decided to scrap that as a whole. To continue on, I drew another rectangle. I decided to use the push and pull, and I pulled it up far enough as to what I thought it would be good enough for a chair. I drew a rectangle inside of the 3D figure, about that big. I then went to the bottom of it and drew another rectangle. However, I didn't really like how it was so skinny with the shape that it was forming, so I decided to try to move the rectangle over so it can have more of the dimensions that I would like it to have. I ended up liking this and leaving it. I then took the push and pull method and I just pushed that square right out and I pushed the bottom square right out. So bam, you have a chair. So then I rotated my figure around. Right now it's just looking like a plain little like Legos chair that you will see. So I wanted to like change it a little bit, add some legs. So I decided to draw another rectangle inside of the bottom rectangle. I thought that would be good enough just to make sure the legs were even. And then I took the push and pull method and I pushed that rectangle right out. As you can see, my legs of the chairs are pretty even. So then I rotated. I did the same thing, grabbed the rectangle tool, trying to measure it out to make sure that the legs would be even enough for both sides. And I felt like that was right. I let go, released, and I used the push and pull method as well. And there we go. So then I used the rotation tool to rotate my chair so I could see it at every single direction. Then I decided to use the half arc 2-point arc object and I wanted to draw my arc. And at first I was having trouble on how to completely have my arc fit without going too much over. And I finally think I got the hang of it after I made it this line like that, and I was able to hit it up to the edge of the top of the chair. I then used the push and pull method. However, I was having trouble with that again, so I went to undo it and try it again. So I did that, and voila, it disappeared. So that was my chair figure for you, and I thought that was pretty impressive. So I just left it alone because it looked pretty even to me with the legs and how the chair was built. The only thing I would change is if I would have made the seat itself a little bit taller. The next thing that I decided to do was I decided to do another rectangle and make a box. I then took the pointer tool, I clicked on the surface and I deleted it. So I wanted to show how to add faces back. So since my figure is right on the axis of the green, blue, and red, I decided to add the figure back, try to draw a diagonal line. However, as you can see, it left a diagonal line there. So I decided to delete that. So I went to Windows Styles, Edges, and I changed the color to by Access. And by changing this, it shows you the colors and it makes sure that it's on the same perpendicular lines and that it's nothing is wrong with the shape and everything you drew was perfectly fine. So then I just decided to draw a straight line down and that connected the face back to the object. So as you can see, all of it was symmetric. The greens were matching the greens, the blue matching the blues, and the reds were matching the red. And that's how I added my surface back to my rectangle. And that will complete my 3D design. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.